Hi everyone, Steve here from RSM and welcome to our latest episode of our Coffee Conversation series. Today I'm at the beautiful Thomas Dixon Centre and I'm joined by Leanne Benjamin.
Hi Steve.
Hi Leanne, lovely to meet you and great to meet you here as well. This is one of my favourite places in Brisbane. So Leanne has recently joined the Queensland Ballet as the Artistic Director, and so we're going to find out a little bit more about Leanne, her journey, what's brought her here, and what you see going forward. But as we sort of said at the start, this is all about a casual chat over a coffee. So
love it.
Tell us a little bit about your coffee.
Well, my coffee of choice since I've arrived in Brisbane is a Piccolo. I'm very, very fussy about my coffee, as my husband would tell everybody. It's a bit of a nightmare every time we travel. When he gets up in the morning, goes along to Starbucks or wherever he goes to, and I expect a lot from my coffee in the morning because it's the one thing that gets me going in the day.
Yes.
I like it strong, not too much milk, and a little bit sweet.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. And similarly, coffee is such an important part of my day as well. But it's not just about coffee, Leanne. Today it's getting to know you a little bit. And so perhaps just to kick things off, if you could tell me a little bit about yourself, about your journey.
Well, I'm a Rockhampton girl. I grew up there till the age of 16. I was very interested in dancing after taking lessons at a very young age. Age 4 I started. I was performing at a very young age on a very small stage in Rockhampton, and everyone realised that I had a particular talent, and that talent took me over to the Royal Ballet School where I started training at the age of 16. So I was very young to go to the other side of the world. And from there, my career just really took off. I was very lucky. I had great teachers. I won a few important competitions, I think, which put me on the world stage at a very young age. Lots of work, lots of homesickness. And it's been a really great journey, which has brought me back here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And tell me, sort of coming back here, and I've had the privilege of being to the Thomas Dixon Centre a number of times, and we've got at RSM, we have a very strong association with the Queensland Ballet and have done for the past year or so, and we look forward to that continuing going forward.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Under your leadership.
Thank you.
And you know, we're in this amazing facility, and one of the things I've learned is it's one of the best of its kind in the world. So for you, having come from the Royal Ballet, you know, how does, you know, coming back into little old Brisbane, you know, from London and the Royal Ballet and to the Queensland Ballet, you know, how does that feel for you, and what does that look like for you?
Well, I just remember rocking up in a taxi when I first came to look at the Dixon Centre and get to know a little bit about the company in the summer when I was invited to come and look at Queensland Ballet before I made the decision about the artistic directorship. I pulled up in a cab and I got out and I just literally audibly went, wow.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. What's happened to Brisbane? It's so evolved, and I'd heard so much about all the plans for the Dixon Centre and all the drawings. Lee had shown me the drawings through his time with the company and how this building was going to evolve. Last time I came out in 2019 to work with the company on Romeo and Juliet, we were in a sort of a big porter cabin.
Yeah, I was going to say that was across the road, I think, while this was being
temporary.
built.
And I thought that was great
enough.
But having walked into this building at this time now, I just can't believe what it's all about. But along with the building, we've got to talk about what happens inside the building.
Yes.
And that's what I'm very, very interested in.
Yes.
And that's how I want to take the company forward.
Fantastic. And can you share a little bit about that with me in terms of what is Leanne Benjamin's stamp that you're going to put on the Queensland Ballet and I guess take the company from where it is now, which is in a pretty good position, from my understanding, to where it needs to go.
I think with anyone taking over a business that's successful, that is more difficult than starting from the beginning with something. However, I feel very fortunate that everything's in place with the Queensland Ballet now, and to have this building and to have the space and to have the potential. I see great potential here, and I think with any new director, what I plan going forward is all about taste, really. Every director that comes into a company will put their stamp on a new place, and mine will be about really developing now how we go forward with repertoire. I'd like a few new voices brought into the company. I want the dancers to expand on what they're doing. I want to have more connection with other small groups, arts companies, etc. So cross-fertilization is really, really important to me. I want to bring in the best and the brightest from around the world, but I also want to concentrate on the potential of Australian creatives as well. So I do have big dreams. My big focus this year is really curating what I'll be doing for 2025, because it's really on the doorstep. And most directors have at least 2 to 3 years to plan ahead. So I'm having to fast track what I'm doing in 25.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very lucky because I have great connections with some of the best in the arts world that hopefully are going to say yes to me.
That's awesome.
You know,
I'm sure they're
and just to
say
feed,
yes
I want to just take what Lee has done, which is just incredible, and just bring it into this new time.
So is it fair to say that you feel you've got a wonderful foundation that you can create something very special from? And one of the things I love Brisbane. I'm very passionate about our city, and I'm incredibly excited about, so particularly the next 5 to 6 years as we head towards the Olympics and what that holds, the potential that holds for our city. Where do you see the arts as playing a part in that journey over the next 6 years? And do you think that provides the arts with, you know, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the arts in Brisbane to really get from where it is at the moment to another level entirely? Yeah,
I think what's happening and what I've felt about Brisbane compared to what I call the old days when I came to do little summer schools here as a young child is that I think people are really wanting to come to Brisbane, and that's the first thing we need. And with that are people that are very cultured and know what's going on in the world. And so I think that will just potentially lift our standards with everything that we're going to do. And it's important to me to feed the audience, know what they might expect, know what they might want going forward. And of course, I'm going to get it wrong sometimes. I can't be expected to get everything right. I've been through 6 directors in my career, and they haven't all made the right decisions, or they might have been the right decisions, but it may not have suited an organisation or an audience or something. But if you don't take a little bit of a risk, then you just die as an organisation. So my plan is to, what I'd like to do is look at what we have built in the past, or what the company has built in the past, look at where we are today, and to look where I'd like to take that company into the future. And that will be a very broad portfolio of work, and engaging our audiences and our dancers. I'm very big on building the next generation of talent, and to decide how I'm best going to do that to keep a very healthy and happy company as well.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What are the, I guess you've obviously given this a lot of thought when you were making the decision to take on the role of artistic director and follow in the footsteps of Lee, who obviously has created, you know, something special from where the Queensland Ballet was historically to where we are now. What do you think are the key challenges that you have to kind of deal with in getting there as well?
Key challenges for me at the moment would be theatres, because MPAV has been delayed. MPAV is part of the QPAC.
Yes.
And a lot of our season in 26 was programmed to be in MPAV. So I'm a bit nervous about that because the Lyric Theatre is large, the Playhouse is much smaller, and MPAV sits somewhere in the middle, in the capacity of the stage and the audience. Now, if I'm not sure which theatre I'm going into, it impacts on what I will be able to program and which choreographers I'll be able to use in the season, and that, you know, that's a huge concern for me. So I am doing a little bit of that and rocking up for meetings and saying, hey, this is going to be my type of programming. What do you think? And slowly but surely, I'm finding little pockets of time because, of course, there's a backup. after COVID as well.
Yes.
Of musicals, and also the impact of MPAV not being finished in time. So that has really impacted our time. The other things typically would be bringing out stages from around the world, and how I juggle that with their time slots and what they're doing around the world, and when we need them here for specific rehearsal periods. And that's like some sort of massive jigsaw puzzle, and one piece doesn't fit, you have to start the whole puzzle again. And that's what I'm dealing with at the moment. That's the worrying side. The amazing side of it for me is that it's so creative. I'm loving the creativity, because as a dancer, I had a huge career with 4 companies, and I worked with a massive amount of choreographers and different creatives. And I was used to having my input into that. And then I went on to do a lot of coaching for companies. And although I helped a lot of other institutions and, for them to excel in what they did, I was really answering to them. And I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I'm loving the fact that I'm now making the decisions.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different departments that I want to be part of and make decisions for, and that can be anything from marketing, production, what goes on that stage. My dancer relationship is very, very important to me. And I'm really slowly but surely getting to know each and every one of them. Yeah,
so the opportunity you see is huge.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
Yeah, out of difficult situations, I'm trying to bring opportunity to those situations and think out of the box.
Yeah, and I suppose it's the corollary of challenge is opportunity. So
yes.
for you to kind of look through that lens is wonderful, wonderful to see. Perhaps if I could just ask one last question, and it's probably a personal question in terms of today, what your proudest moment of your career in bringing you to here?
I think that just I've always been me. And I remember I left the stage actually in 2013 and went off and did something else. I went on and studied architectural design because I've always loved property development, etc. And I didn't want to retire as a dancer and have nothing to show for it. But one of the reasons I left the stage is because I am someone who's always said what they think. Yes. I've always had a bit of an opinion, and I didn't know whether that would work to be, looking after a company. But times have changed so much since my early days, and the director I was working under, Kevin O'Hare at the Royal Ballet, for the last 10 years or so, made such a huge change with the way he approached leadership. And I have just been pleasantly surprised that I fit into that. And it has made me more confident now about the way I am. I'm very relaxed. I like a lot of communication. I want to get to know everyone on the team. It's not me up here and them here. We're all equals. And I like to learn from others as much as maybe they're going to learn from me. So I think proudest moment is just, gosh, I've come from Rocky, I've gone around the world, I've learnt things along the way, and now I'm back in the wonderful state of Queensland. And I'm very, very proud to be a part of this company and having the opportunity to take it forward.
That's wonderful, Leanne. Look, thank you so much for the time, and I know we at RSM we're really looking forward to our long-term association with the Queensland Ballet and with yourself. So thanks again for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much for your support.
Absolutely delighted to support the ballet. It's a wonderful institution, and we really want to be there with the ballet as you continue to take it forward into the future.
Well, we want you there.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Thanks. And thank you all for joining me once again. Hopefully you took away some insights from that wonderful conversation with Leanne, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you.